Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you what to do after beating Splatoon Raiders. This is a post-game guide to give you the best path forward as you proceed through this very deep end game. This has some pretty cool build craft and I'll be going over the best possible route and what to do next. Now upon beating the game, you'll notice that there are 3 new areas that we can go and do. So the Mjolnir hidden runes here. Now you do have to do these with all 3 of the different tanks. So I'll go over a little bit of a guide on what tanks work best for these. And in my opinion, I used to not like the speed tank, and it's actually, in my opinion, the best once you get to the post game, and there's a few reasons for that. But you're going to want to do all 3 of these here, which will then give you another unlock where we can go even deeper. And this is kind of the post game. You're just going to continue doing these. They scale up in level every single time, but these give you your best possible loot. Now another thing you can do is when you're on the map here, press the right back trigger or ZL, and this is going to pull up a guide. Now this will show you the relative level for each of these that you can do. I would recommend not going anything below, like if you're, let's say, level 50 and you see a level 52, that'd be probably like the cutoff, but you can, as you get further on, do the higher level content. So levels kind of get worse after level 50 in all honesty, so you should be just proceeding through these as much as possible. I personally really like the dens, as I find these to be really quick and easy to do, but you're also going to want to go through and any of these levels here that have a compass. These are very important. So you see the top one here, level 47, there was a compass here, which opens up new challenges. The reason that these are so good is they give you 3 skill points each, which is a huge buff. That's like 30% extra damage. So these are worth going and doing right away as soon as you unlock them. But you typically want to go through and just hunt down the ones that you haven't done yet for the rewards. However, if you're looking for one that is really easy to do, the Almond Den here can easily be done at like level 40 and doing the super spicy version. I'll show you guys how. For this to work, you will need the fly wire as well as the jump bomb, although you can do it with a few other options like the blast boot here. It's just easiest with these 2 from the speed tank. Basically what you'll do is you'll jump up, do a bot jump, do another jump here, use your abilities, fly up to the top here, and then you just jump forward, take out these extremely quickly. This is the fastest method to get Spirhalite shards, primo weapons, and pretty much everything in the game. Now, this isn't for everyone, that's why I mentioned going through and doing the level appropriate things, but you can get a lot of really good stuff quickly. It has materials. You can also get 10,000 Spirhalite shards, primo weapons, which are the best weapons in the game, and much more. So that can be quickly done to farm because we're going to be having new upgrades here. I'll go over them quickly. So you can now use your, you can actually swap out weapon powers only on the 5-star weapons. What's cool about this though is if you want specific passives, you can put them onto your weapons. Weapons don't go above level 50, so once you hit level 50 or anywhere above, you're going to only get this level here. Now what's cool about this, you can press ZL again to be able to see what each of these buffs do. So at a glance, you can see here what's on them. And let's say if you don't want this one in particular, you can then replace it with something else. So I would recommend this only if you get a 5-star weapon in a type that you personally like. I really like the roller weapon, although this one is really slow. I prefer the fast roller, so I don't really have any 5-star weapons just yet, but you can swap out their powers. In addition, 5-star weapons can be upgraded past level 50, so you can continue to keep upgrading them, making them really, really good. But the big thing, in my opinion, is gadgets, because we can actually get you get some new parts for your gadgets, but the big thing is upgrading the parts for your gadgets. Now, the reason you would want to do this is because they give you a damage boost, but they also reduce the amount of slots that they're going to take up. For example, this was a 3-slot cost down to 2, and then it gives me 4% extra damage. And every point counts when it comes to your gadgets, so this can be extremely effective. Just be mindful though that the cost can be quite high. This is 30k Spirhalite shards, so you'll have to run that previous mission quite a lot. But this is also nice too because certain ones here, like the tank ability activation, one of my favorites, is normally 10 points. This gets reduced to 8 points and you get a 16% damage boost. This is one you're always going to have equipped, so I would recommend going for these here. Like any of the double trouble options are amazing, taking the slots from 8 to 6 and increasing their damage, and tank ability activations are by far the most powerful. Other than that, you will be just maxing out your weapons and going for drops. You probably have build ideas that you like to use, but I'll go over a few of them that work really well here in combination with each other, because you will need very powerful builds. Now, I didn't like the speed tank till I got to the post game, and this is where it gets really crazy. For relics, once you do those little islands, the 3 islands that unlock once you beat the game, you get to use the tank abilities whenever you're not using that particular tank. So, for example, you can go ahead here with the speed tank and get Tank Torrent, which is extremely powerful because it'll end up creating paint below you if you have the upgraded form here. So I always have these 3 equipped, as well as speed up, and then I also like the gadget recovery speed because we're going to be moving very fast, so we get our skills back quickly. It's all about just spamming our abilities kind of at the end game. Now for speed tanks, I really like using the Flywire here, and I'm just using this mainly with any of the explosives and area damage up. A huge one though is damage surge. The reason that this is so good is that it's going to give you a 50% damage boost after you do this for 5 seconds, and you basically get the cooldown to go really quickly on this. And we also have the double trouble, so basically we're able to get that 50% damage boost twice here. There's also airborne damage, I just don't have the points for it. I love the tank ability activation because you basically have to stay underground for 2 whole seconds to get your abilities, but with this, you're going to get all 3 of your tank abilities depending on what relics you selected, which is huge. It's actually a massive buff. So I like to roll with that victory cooldown and other gadget cooldowns so we get our jump back quicker. If I had more points, I would put them into cooldown up, but that works really well. Alongside the jump boot, basically using this, your get out of jail free card. Faster jump, explosive area up are great. I also like the damage surge for 60% for 5 seconds after this. And the nice thing about these damage boosts is that they actually will both stack. So you can jump in, do a crazy amount of damage, and then just start blasting away with 110% increased damage or whatever your passives give you. Insane boost to your overall damage. So yeah, I like to have both of these on my speed tank alongside shot pots. And the big thing with shot pots is making sure that you have like things like the auto trigger on hits. So you don't have to think about it, just automatically throws it out. Double trouble, so you have 2 of those. I also like the sprinkler, but it's not really necessary later on once you get the ability to create ink at will. But lingering smell pulls enemies in. You can also use explosive placement, which is amazing because you just throw these out as like grenades basically. Range up is also nice, and then fire rate up I also really do like, so that ends up working best for that. Now if we want to run with the power tank, I find the power tank is actually end up being the weakest now. I really like this early game, but I like to run with the Splatellites here. Now for Splatellites, you basically want to have these auto trigger on hit, and you want to have the duration up. A 35% boost basically gives you 100% uptime, so that works well. And have Scorch on these because this will apply Scorch, which you have weapon passes that can greatly boost. Now for the Splatchet, this is mainly, you want to get the reduced damage taken. That one is super effective because you can use this kind of like your get out of jail free card. Not as good as the jump, but I do have the jump on this setup as well. It's our speed tank edition. Now, in my opinion, the second best would be the tactical tank here. I really like with the shot pot and high fiver. The reason the high fiver I like so much is you can actually get some pretty nice explosive abilities, but the ink resupply. What's funny is you can use your bot jump, shoot this downwards, and basically just delete everything in front of you, and just keep bot jumping and getting your ink back. So you just keep firing from a very safe position. There's also freeze on this, which is amazing. This thing is really nice. And then I use Splatellites. These are just really good for the mobility sake of it. And I typically like to run for every relic. I like to go with all 3 of these here. Just the power, speed, and tactical pro are so good. Again, giving you your special abilities here. You can press ZL to find this. But yeah, the post game mostly consists of doing these 3 islands on the outside and then hunting down and doing every single one of the spicy or super spicy. But again, I recommend going to the chest levels, doing the Chowda buried runes, the Yarag buried runes, and then the Minchup buried runes. These will each give you 3 skill points each when you do the compass mission. The compass is you basically have to follow along on the map. It's going to give you hot or warm, and you'll move to wherever it is and then pop it up like that. So if you haven't done those, I'd recommend going and grabbing them. And then after that, it's literally just diving deeper and deeper into the dungeons. And if you get stuck on one, you can just end up doing it multiple times. This will require you to grind out some levels. So yeah, I did show you guys a quick grind on if you want to just get some quick completions done. But if you have any questions about the post game in Splatoon Raiders, hit them in the comments below. I'm usually pretty quick to respond to them. Hope you guys all have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next one. Subscribe if this was useful.